So we are expected to do group work and then article writing, professional article writing. Now, in the last diet, we did group work and we did article writing individually. But in this particular diet, we might be doing article writing as part of the group work. So as you choose your group work, you also go in line with the article writing so that we don't have delays in people getting to fix the work. All right. So we are expected to do group work. All right. So once again, welcome and let's begin. Please, if you can see my screen, please help me type 22 in the chat room. If you can see my screen, please help me type 22 in the chat room. Okay. All right, thank you. So yesterday we said quite a lot about waste management. We talked about the different kinds of waste, the waste management process, and all of the things we spoke about waste yesterday. So this moment, we are going to be concluding on this waste management, and then we move on to other classes. If you have this manual, please recommend you to go through it over and over again. All right. Okay, so we are going to be starting with standardization of waste management inspections. Standardization of waste management inspections. Standardization of waste management inspections. Okay, my screen tend not to be moving, so please give me a second. Let me be sure that it's moving. Sorry, just a moment. My screen tend not to be moving. I need to find out what's happening. Okay, so please, if the screen is moving on your end right now, please help me confirm. Kindly confirm by typing 11 in the chat room. If the screen is moving from your end, please kindly confirm by typing 11 in the chat room. If it's moving from your end, if it's not moving, please type 00. If it's not moving, type 00. If it's moving, type 11. All right, thank you. So let's look at standardization of waste management inspections. Standardization of waste management inspections. It is important to have a checklist for the waste management inspections to standardize it. A checklist can be departmental or site specific. It's best to take a basic form and tailor it to your site and needs. Site specific form is highly recommended over a departmental form. Specific form fits a specific building or specific purpose and would have no categories that are not applicable to that purpose or to the department or to the building. A standard inspection report will be used and include person, date, consigns identified, building area, or building or area inspected that will have corrective actions. Person, date, consigns identified, building or area inspected, and then corrective actions to be used. Now, the name of the person inspecting and identifying the waste should be identified, date the inspection was carried out and the waste identified, then description and exact location of the waste, areas or buildings included in the inspection, corrective action, and the date waste removed or repaired. So these are the things we are expected in these items identified: name or perhaps person, date, consigns identified, building or area inspected, then corrective actions required. Document waste management programs findings, or let's say waste documentation. Document your corrective action and also document your controls of waste management and reduction program. All waste management program findings along with corrective action recommended should be fully documented. Any corrections to any of the items recorded on the waste management and hazardous waste disposal log or inspection checklist should also be documented. The type of documentation that is used is not as important as ensuring it is done in a timely and thorough manner. Now, I will read that again. Say the type of documentation that is used is not as important as ensuring that it is done in a timely and thorough manner. That means we should be effective in the documentation. We shouldn't wait for a particular format or a particular approach before we get to ensure that documentation is done timely and effectively. There could always, or there would always be an improvement on the things we do, and safety is not an exception. The most common documentations used are waste types and management log, hazardous waste control log, work orders, email to officers, notebook, and so on. So any one of them you use per time should be used effectively. That should be done in a timely manner. Okay, it should be done in a timely manner. We shouldn't wait for when it is all computerized before we start documenting. If the systems go down, that shouldn't affect the documentation process. Now, quickly, let's look at the solutions used for waste management. Solutions used for waste management. Now, I'm going to ask a question. In your own area, how do you manage waste? Please kindly put in the chat room. How do you manage waste in Okay, so I'm still expecting in the chat room, how do you manage your waste in your area? In your house, how do you manage your waste? In your area, how do you manage your waste? Let us know. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in the chat room. I'm only seeing depending. Tell us how you manage your waste, irrespective of what is dependent on. Okay, so since we don't manage waste in our areas, maybe we could just proceed. Some commonly used solutions for waste management are, you have the landfill, which are designated sites where waste materials are buried for disposal. Then we'll have the recycling, which is converting used items into products that can be used again. Then we'll have incineration, which is a waste treatment process where organic substances of waste materials are burned for disposal. Then we'll have energy recovery. Energy recovery is the process of generating energy in the form of electricity and or heat from non-recyclable waste materials. Then we'll have resource recovery. Resource recovery is a process where certain waste materials are converted into new products. Then we'll have waste minimization, which consists of various processes and practices that help to reduce the amount of waste produced. So which of this waste management is commonly used in your area? Out of the whole that is mentioned, which one is commonly used in your area? Is it landfill? Is it incineration? Is it waste recovery? Is it waste reduction? Which one is most used in your area? Is it land? Whichever one that is used, please let us know in the chat room. Now let's quickly look at this example to understand the importance of adoption of waste reduction procedures. Glenplast Polymers Incorporated is a leading manufacturer of molded plastic bottles. Gameplast sources the raw materials from various vendors in the form of polymer pellets. It then melts the pellets and molds them into various plastic bottles of different shapes and sizes. Gameplast is a market leader in its industry due to high quality and finish of its products. Gameplast decides to expand further and opens a new plant in a new location. With a month of operation, a major issue was reported from the new plant. Gameplast management came to know that the new plant was facing major issues with discarding the waste that comes out of the manufacturing unit. Like any other plastic manufacturing plant, Gameplast's new plant was also producing a lot of byproducts that were harmful and waste and had to be discarded as per the law regulations. Gameplast management decides to investigate and look into this matter and find a solution to this problem, as waste management was a primary concern for any manufacturing unit. A team of waste management experts headed by Henry Wardoff is sent to the new plant. They need to investigate and submit a report of the issue of waste management and plausible solution to the problem. Henry comes back to the management with a detailed report of his findings and how the problem can be solved. Henry's findings are there is a large water body near the plant, which was one of the primary attractions for building a new plant in this location, as water is a necessity in any manufacturing process. This water body is posing a problem as the dumping area built by Gameplast could lead to possible leakages to the groundwater, which could contaminate the water. Such contamination of groundwater is strictly against waste management and disposal laws and regulations of the country. Hazardous chemicals used in the manufacturing processes are being dumped without following proper disposal procedures. Waste management workers do not follow general safety rules such as working proper protection equipment and waste management rules. Workers, supervisors, and managers are unaware of general waste management practice to be followed. So management is shocked to find that workers are unaware of normal day-to-day waste management practices to be followed and safety precautions that need to be taken care of. As per Henry's suggestions, the management decides to conduct a special waste management and safety focus week for all the personnel. In this week, the employees working at the new plant are made aware of the importance of following waste management and personal safety rules. Also, the management finds out from the local government bodies if there is a dumping ground around the plant where they could dispose the waste from the plant. Management is free to find out that there is a government dumping ground where waste gets collected and that they could pay for pick-up services to have the trucks pick up waste at a nominal price. Gameplast also decides to incinerate any waste that can be treated in that way without harming the environment as per laws and regulation. Also, Gameplast decides to adopt waste reduction procedures and calls upon experts who can look at their manufacturing processes and help them reduce the amount of waste being produced by their plant. Now, we could see what happens around Gameplast and how they've been able to manage the waste that comes out from their operations. Now, quickly, let's look at what is special waste management. Special waste management. Special waste management. Special waste management require an advanced upgraded management and administration of the special category waste due to its physical state, science, volume, potential reactivity with different synthetic substances, or potential to hurt human well-being or the earth. I will go through that again. Special waste management require an advanced, upgraded management and administration of the special category of waste due to its physical state, science, volume, potential reactivity with different synthetic substances or potential to hurt human well-being or the earth. Cases of this include recyclable unique administrative squander, example, tires, penetrate fixed liquids, and then we'll have non-recyclable uncommon administrative squander, example, local sewage and wastewater. These are waste that require special attention in managing them. Then we'll have the MSDS in hazardous waste management. Of course, I'm sure we know that in this case, MSDS stands for Material Safety Data Sheets. Okay. This is not the same as MSDs, like musculoskeletal disorders. This is not the same as MSD. This is MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheet. If no MSDS has been received for a hazardous chemical, employer must contact the supplier to obtain one and maintain a record of the contact. MSDS must be in English and include information regarding the specific chemical identity and common names. Please note, we are using it must be in English because we are in English-speaking country. If in your own country it is not English, please use the most commonly accepted language that is official in your area for your MSDS documentation. Material safety data sheets provide in-depth information on hazards, reactivity, guidelines on usage and storage. MSDS should be available for all products used at on-site facility. Now let's look at MSDS in hazardous waste management in their different forms. We have MSDS are prepared by chemical manufacturer and describe physical hazards such as fire and explosion, health hazards such as signs of exposure. It describes routes of exposure, precautions for safety handling and use, emergency and first aid procedures, control measures for waste management, for waste disposal. Then we have physical and chemical characteristics. Health effects, exposure limits, carcinogenicity, that's cancer causing, identification of organization responsible for preparing sheets, must be readily accessible to employees in their work area. That's MSDS. MSDS must be readily accessible to all employees in the workplace, as it is key in providing information. Now, finally, let's look at the PPE for hazardous waste management. PPE for hazardous waste management. When personal protective equipment PPE is used for hazardous waste management, employees must be trained in its use and they must be monitored to ensure they are using the PPE properly. There should be a written program on how to purchase, use, maintain, store, dispose, and replace PPEs. Personal protective equipment acts as a barrier between a person and the hazardous waste. PPE is only helpful in situations when handling hazardous waste to protect the worker from its ill effects. Back belts and other braces are not considered PPEs. These devices can be used for all waste, but especially compulsorily for hazardous waste. So PPEs can be used for hazardous waste. Quickly, let's look at this practice. Choose any company that you like, either a product or service company. Now research on the internet and answer the following questions based on your findings. What kind of waste management failures has this company faced? What are the waste management efforts that this company makes? What are some of the waste management challenges that are common to such industry types? Now, this is one of the case studies we are going to be using, or this is one of the questions we are going to be using as case studies for our group work. So for if you find your group find themselves in waste management, that is your case study that you're going to be looking at. So quickly, for the one we have here, Andrew Thompson worked as a waste management manager at Oxford Polymers Incorporated. He's responsible for the waste management duties at his plant. How can Andrew convince workers to use the proper waste management processes at the plant? How can Andrew improve the existing waste management conditions at the plant? Please, would like to have your voice on this. First question, second question, how can Andrew convince workers to use the proper waste management process at the plant? And two, how can Andrew improve the existing waste management conditions at the plant? So please give us a voice. If you wish to give a voice to that, please kindly raise your hand and let's open you up. Please, it's time for interaction. Let's hear from you. How will you advise Andrew on this matter? I asked the question and people are dropping from the class. Is it that the question is scaring them away or what? Please, we need your contribution. Or all the things I've been teaching, they didn't enter. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, can you type 1 in the chat room? If you can hear me loud and clear, can you type 1 in the chat room? So if you can hear me, why are we not responding? Is the question difficult? If you can see the question on the screen, please respond.